you've ever played?
Well, I think so, of course, in the final of Wimbledon, so yeah.
One of the largest amateur tennis tournaments in North America is just around the corner. The 80th Stanley Park Open begins July 9th. It runs through the 24th. That means this guy beside me, Ryan Clark, is going to be living 24/7 on a tennis court. He is the CEO of Tennis BC. There is no real larger event in our city for tennis than the Stanley Park Open.
It's legendary. 80th anniversary this year, biggest tournament in North America, probably the world. Every single type of player all comes down to Stanley Park for 16 great days of fun. Best free entertainment in the city you're going to see.
How many courts are utilized? And I think you were telling me while we were in commercial break, courts have been redone by the City of Vancouver.
City of Vancouver were outstanding. They came and they've redone the front 6 courts in the traditional U.S. Open blue and green, so brand spanking new courts for everyone to see and play on. 17 courts in action, 8 a.m. right through to sundown for all 16 days.
We've seen Rebecca Marino, and we've seen her rise the last 5 years, especially the last 16 months, what she has done. How much of an effect has it had on our tennis, and how much has this tournament had a rise in stature? I mean, we know that it's been around for 8 centuries, but the level of tennis that we're seeing, especially amongst the juniors,
is very, very good. Right now, we have the Junior Provincial Championships going on, and the Rebecca Marino star effect has taken place. I went out there and watched from literally start of the day all the way through to the end. The amount of young girls now coming up through the system who are high quality. You can see them out there all battling because they believe they can turn into something now. I was really, really impressed looking at our Junior Provincial Championships to see in such a short time what level of play we have now here in BC because of a star like Rebecca Marino coming up and competing at the top levels of the world.
As far as the Stanley Cup Open goes, when we talk about the divisions and the amount of players, where do you see the bulk of the people playing?
Still, adult recreational is massive. You know, it's such a family sport, and a sport that, you know, husband, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends still all play together. You see a lot of them coming down playing in the doubles and in the mixed doubles events. So adult recreational is still massive for us. That's thousands of players right there. But it's great to see the young juniors coming up. We also have wheelchair events too, which is really fun to see.
How monumental is staging an event like this? I mean, because I know we've talked in past about using as many tennis courts that our city has, but
yeah.
Talk to me about the undertaking to stage this event that goes on for close to 3 weeks,
well,
right?
Basically, we have to go to all of our staff and say goodbye to your families for at least 3-4 weeks. That's starters and one. You kind of hold your breath and hope that all the weather works out and everything goes your way. But it is fun. You know, it's really such when you're doing big events like this, especially community, when you get to see all the families coming down and little kids and adults and seniors who have been playing this for, you know, 4, 5, 6 decades plus, it energizes you. So you have the energy to run basically 24/7 on this. And it's such a high to be part of these things. It's great.
The people in the tennis community know about this tournament. You don't have to tell people when they have to register because it's been running for so long and it's such a high quality tournament. Do the people in our city, in Vancouver, and for that matter in the province, really know how good this tournament is?
I think so. I think generally we see so many people passing by. I mean, we get tens of thousands of people walking by because we're right there next to English Bay. People just like to come by and sit and watch and be part of it. Anybody who walks through that area of the park will stop for at least an hour or so and take a gander at what's going on. And I think everyone, you know, when you talk to people on the street, you say, yeah, Stanley Park Open, people go, yeah, I've heard of that. I know what that is. And it's really nice to see.
It's easy to get involved. You're still taking registration, right?
Still taking registration right through till Monday morning.
And the address, very simple, if you want to just log on to the website, www.tennisbc.org, right?
Exactly, you're right.
And all the details are there. Okay, before I let you go, I want to get your impressions on what you saw this morning at Wimbledon.
Well, surprisingly, Kvitova rose up to the challenge. I thought she'd be overwhelmed. Maria's been on the big stage for years. She knows how to handle it. Surprisingly, I thought Kvitova might be overwhelmed, although she's a big, strong girl. Evolution of athletes. Big, tall, strong girl, lefty. You know, that's just how athletes move forward. But she stood up, stood proud, and did really well to come through.
Yeah, we talk about her big athletes. Rebecca Marino, what's her ranking at right now? Put you on the spot.
She'll be in the 30s now in the world.
I thought she'd be heading 30s. Okay, the match that everybody's going to be watching, we're going to have it right here on Global beginning tomorrow morning. Rafael Nadal versus Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, that's a pick'em. That is an absolute pick'em. It's impossible to figure out who's going to win. They've gone down to the wire for every one of those matches. Both those guys will let every limb out right there. They are going to go till they bleed. You know, and both these guys aren't going to give an inch. It's the number 1 and 2 player in the world battling it out to see who's going to finish number 1 in the world.
Well, you're the CEO of Tennis BC. We want a prediction right here. What are we going to see tomorrow? Who's going to win?
I think you're going to see Nadal just push it through, but it's going to be right down to the wire. I think Djokovic's grass isn't quite his best surface. Nadal's a little bit more ready. Djokovic takes over the number 1 ranking in the world on Monday. A little more pressure now. That might just get to him, but I think it's going to be right down to the wire.
Thanks for coming in. We'll see if your prediction comes to light. And I know your wife has got to play tennis tournaments, so we're going to let you sneak away. I got a little bit more sports to talk about.
Sounds
Thanks
great.
for joining us.
Thanks.
The Vancouver Whitecaps in Toronto FC met for the second time in 3 days. This match